Each of us has been given a life, which includes a body, a mind, a heart, a soul, a life to live any way we want. What are you doing with yours? Welcome to Sobriety Snippets for Ambitious Women Over 40, where we elevate our mindset and trade hangovers for higher consciousness, one powerful snippet at a time. I'm Becca Jacobson, and you have arrived in Snippet Land. Gals, today I'm going to make you feel bad for a moment. Bear with me, babe. And then I'm going to make you feel good. So, you ready? Okay. Why do we take things for granted? Why? Why do we take things for granted? You think about this. Now, barring reincarnation, barring living many, many lives, which is possible, but we'll just leave that out of the argument for today. Barring that, we have this life. We've been given it, and we've given along with it a nice, healthy body in the beginning, most of us. Okay, so barring, you're born unwell, just most of us are born with a nice, fresh body to use. We're given a brain, we're given a heart, we're given a soul. It's handed to us, and along with it, we're plunked down in this world we live in whichever society we find ourselves, and then we get to do whatever we want with it. It's up to us. It's your life. You get to choose everything. Who you spend your time with, how you make your money, where you live, all of it is our choice. But it doesn't feel that way, does it? It feels like we get sucked along in a tsunami of circumstances, and especially starting right at birth with our parents. Well, we didn't choose them, did we? But if we look at this just from adulthood onwards, which is difficult because we drag so much crap from our childhood, we get to choose. So I ask you again, what are you doing with this one wonderful life you've been given? Well, I can tell you this much. I wasted a lot of mine. I played Russian roulette with my health, put things into my body that I knew were bad for me over and over and over. Read alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, junk food, all of it. So I'm given this nice, healthy body and I stuff it full of crap. All right. Then I get involved with people who are really unhealthy for me in the younger days. And even still, it's hard to get out of some relationships. And then I let myself get dragged along in this situation and that situation, really, honestly, not treating this life as precious at all. And if we just stop for a moment and think, I have a precious gift here, and nobody is going to take care of it for me. And nobody is going to tell me what to do with it. Now, I'm going to qualify that last line with some people will try, but if we're stepping up to the plate, so to speak, we won't let them. Partner or not, parents or not, family or not, background or not, it's our choice what we do with this life. So I spent all of those decades really honestly not looking after myself. I kept trying. We try. I know you try. It isn't that we don't know. It isn't that we don't care. We're not just intentionally self-destructing, but we have all this baggage and we don't know how to handle it. And we discover that things like alcohol help us to numb out. And so we just take the easy way out. But gals, we're over 40. A lot of us are a lot over 40, right? So when do we stop the nonsense and say, hold on, all right, hold on a second here. I may have wasted some of my precious time and health and all of that, but I'm all grown up now. Maybe it's time I start making choices that reflect the preciousness of the gift I've been given, whatever amount of time I have left. And that's why here in Snippet Land, I'm always saying my goal is to help you make this the best chapter of your life. Because we're grown up now. It takes a long damn time to grow up, doesn't it? We don't do it in our 20s or our 30s. Very few people are grown up until they at least hit 40. And even then, you got to wonder, right? I can't actually honestly say I grew up in my 40s. It took, right? Takes forever. And by grow up, what do I mean? I mean emotional maturity. I mean being able to stand on our own feet and not numb out and not run away from life and actually get pissed enough to say, hold on a second. This is my life. I'm going to make better choices. Even if it means I have to take uncomfortable action, even if it means I have to do things that I don't particularly want to do, this is my life. Why am I chucking it away? Why am I risking my health? When we finally get to that point, you know what we need more than anything? We need support and help. Why? Because we've spent those first few decades not doing that. So we don't know how. We just don't know how. We don't know how to show up. And so it's like we have to get together with others who are saying the same thing. I'm tired of throwing away my precious gift. I'm tired of it. So we find others who feel the same way, because you're not going to find it in general population. Most of your besties are into gossip, and probably they love to drink. Gossip is deadly, my dear. Negative talk is deadly. When you get together and have a chat with your besties, what do you talk about? Do you talk about what you want to be when you grow up? Do you talk about what you're working on in your life? Do you talk about the future? Do you talk about what you believe in being possible for yourself in the future? Do you inspire each other? Well, some of us do, but it's not very common, is it? Now, we can find people like that. We can find friends like that, but we have to be intentional about it. A lot of our friends, we've dragged them along from our younger days, and they're just there. Same with our sibs, right? There we have our siblings. We don't get to choose them. And so when do we decide enough is enough? Gals, I don't care how old you are. You can choose today to grow up, to start growing up. And it is a choice. You can just decide, all right, today is day one. It's day one. It's like a smack me in the forehead moment where I realized, hey, wait a second. I have a body. I don't care how healthy or unhealthy it is. You have one. You have a mind. I don't care how insane it is or how healthy it is. You have one. You have a heart. Don't care how broken it is. You have one. You have a soul, and it is perfect. Absolutely perfect. It's just got a bunch of junk over top of it. And you say to yourself, you know what? Today is day one, and I'm going to start looking after these things. I'm going to start finding out what's possible for these things. I say that a lot here. Let's find out what's possible. That's what I'm doing. I find it so exciting to just say, well, I wonder what's possible. Are there any limits to what I can do? There are many, many who say there are no limits. I'm very inspired by the book study we're doing, which we started on Monday. We're looking at Don Miguel Ruiz's lovely little book, The Four Agreements. We just got started. But right now, I'm personally rereading, which I'm always doing, by the way. I'm constantly rereading the nuggets from the past. Right now, I'm rereading Florence Scovel Shinn's amazing book, The Game of Life and How to Play It. We did that book here on the Snippets probably a good year and a half ago, but let's not get sidetracked. And I hadn't read this in a while, so I pulled it back out. And one of the most amazing things she says is this whole concept of finding out what's possible. Not one particular quote, I could give you several, but if you haven't read this book, I highly recommend it. The feeling you get from this book, it's like this woman left part of her soul in this book, and you can feel her energy as you're reading it. She was so absolutely adamant that we could do anything we wanted, and that the biggest things holding us back are fear and doubt, that we are spiritual beings and nothing is impossible, and that we should just move forward through this world with absolute total confidence, deciding this is what I'm going to do and knowing I'm doing it. Not, I wonder if I can do this. Could that be possible? Will I fail? Just this powerhouse of a woman. Now, I don't expect that from you, and I certainly don't expect it from me. We weren't raised like that. But I tell you right now, I'm doing my damnedest to figure out how to be like that. That is what I've been working on for the last 5 years. To totally believe in myself, take risks, have strategies in place that help me mitigate doubt and fear, because, my dear, guess what? I too experience doubt and fear. And those are the two biggest roadblocks we face in everything we do. So I highly recommend Scovel Shinn's book, because we walk away feeling like Superwoman, Wonder Woman. That's it, Wonder Woman. We can do anything. So today my goal was to inspire you to stop and ask yourself some key questions. So the first thing we have to ask ourselves is, what do we want? What do I want? What do you want? Now, that can be as simple as saying, I want to be alcohol free. That's not bad, but you know what's a better one? I hate to rain on your parade, but a better one is, I want to live without wanting to drink alcohol. I want to be free from the desire to drink alcohol. Most of us can quit drinking. So I find it much more powerful to say, I want to be free from the desire to drink alcohol. But I'm not here to tell you what you should desire. Number one, let's just go with the flow here, is what do you want? Now, if alcohol's part of that, beef it up a little. Why do you want to quit drinking? Do you want to just be exactly who you are today, except minus the alcohol? I'm guessing, and I'm willing to make this statement without even knowing you personally, that there's a lot that could be fixed in your life because you've been drinking. It means you're not as emotionally mature, or you can call it emotional sobriety, as you could be. Otherwise, you wouldn't be numbing. So when I ask you, what do you want? Beef it up. So the assignment that goes with this, number one, what do you want? Try and get some clarity around that. It's amazing how few people know what they want. I don't know what I want. I mean, I don't want to drink. Well, is that it? That's a great goal. But I'm here to tell you there's so much more behind that. Don't be afraid to dream, my dear. So number one, what do you want? Number two, once you have some sort of idea, I'm going to give you some homework, and I want you to actually write an essay or a story or paragraphs or whatever you want to call it, a journal entry that thoroughly and completely defines what you would like to do with this precious, precious life you have between now and the end. Number three, do not hold back. Here's another thing that Scoville, Shannon, all the great thinkers that I've come across say. They say that we must imagine the best for ourselves. And I recently talked about this in one of the snippets. I talked about being willing to fantasize, willing to imagine, willing to daydream of the life that we want. Because here's the truth, gals. If we can't imagine it, we can't have it. It breaks my heart how many women will say, well, I wouldn't want to ask for much because I probably won't get it. And I'm probably not capable. And I can't really expect much. And nonsense. You can do anything you want. Anything. Number one, what do you want? Number two, write an essay on it. I like the word essay today. It's bringing me back to the English days when I was teaching English. Write an essay. When's the last time you wrote an essay? Write an essay about your life, the life you desire. Number three, do not allow fear and doubt to interfere. So be willing to dream, to imagine what you want. See it in clarity, in crystal, multicolored clarity. Bring in all the senses. What do you want? Gals, more than anything today, I wanted to inspire you to get excited about life again. So here's what happened to me. I dragged with me from my 30 plus years of wasting my precious, precious life and body and health and heart and emotions and soul. Yep, wasting them, mistreating them. And I dragged with me a couple of health issues. Luckily, they're not major. They're not interfering with my quality of life. The worst one, and I'm going to share it with you. I don't know if you've ever heard of Raynaud's phenomena or Raynaud's syndrome. This is something we get, well, you can get it from many things, but I got it from smoking for 42 years. Nicotine constricts the blood vessels. Well, Raynaud's is a syndrome that when you get cold or when you get stressed, your fingers, your toes go completely numb. The little arteries contract and the blood can't get through your fingers and your toes, and they turn completely white. And if it gets bad enough, they turn blue. And if it gets worse, you can get gangrene. So here I have this syndrome that I will have for the rest of my life. It doesn't go away. And it's often triggered by cold temperatures. And I live in Canada, so hello, right? Well, every time that acts up and my fingers are numb and they're sore, right? Every time I look at that, I think, see, it's a reminder that I didn't look after myself. Now, I'm very, very grateful to be healthy. That's about all I have. I've never had any major health issues. I don't know why, because of the abuse I put my body through. But if I gave you something that you considered precious. Maybe a Gucci bag or a diamond something. I don't know what you consider precious, but there are lots of things in this world we live in that we consider precious, right? Or maybe something sentimentally precious, something from a parent, something that your mother made, something precious. You would look after it, right? Of course you would. And yet, what do we do with our bodies, with our minds, with our hearts, with our souls? Aren't they more precious than anything that we can find or get on this planet? So I wanted to make you feel a little bad, just to get you listening. Hopefully you didn't turn me off. Because my ultimate goal is to inspire you to go, wait a minute, smack, wake up. Why am I doing this to myself? And if you feel inspired to make this the best chapter of your life, then today is the day to start. Number 1, what do you want? Number 2, write it down in Technicolor. Number 3, allow yourself to dream. Those are the 3 steps I'm giving you. Once you've decided, then you have to start taking steps to accomplish that. One of the most powerful things you can do here in Snippet Land is make sure that you're in my entire ecosystem. So I publish to my YouTube channel every week. I send emails to your inbox every week that are juicy, powerful emails, not garbage emails, emails like the snippets. And I also send you the snippets. So get deeply into the ecosystem so you're supported here in Snippet Land. And if you want feedback on what would my next step be to start living my life today, now, I'm going to invite you to do the Sacred Mirror. The Sacred Mirror is a simple online form where I ask you a couple questions. Basically, I just open the door and say, tell me a bit of your story. And you share that with me, just a bit. And I respond by clicking on this microphone and sending you back a personal voice note. And you can tell me, Becca, I heard the snippet about living this life to its fullest, making the most of this chapter of my life. Becca, that's what I want. Here's what's standing in the way. I'd be happy to respond to that. I don't offer advice and I don't offer sales pitches. What I do in the Sacred Mirror is reflect what I'm hearing because we all have blind spots. That's why we need help, gals. That's why we need help to make this the best chapter of our lives. We need somebody else on board who can see more clearly than we can. No matter how strong you are, no matter what you've accomplished in this life, if you're struggling with alcohol, you have blind spots. That's that. Bottom line, end of story. So this is a lot. This snippet was full of a lot. I hope I wanted you to feel bad. I wanted you to feel good. Ultimately, I wanted you to feel just a little bit pissed off. Wait a minute here. This is my life. So today's the day, my dear. Take some action and let's start your journey to making this the best chapter of your life. Why? Because it's the only one you got. Thanks for popping in. Be sure to come back next time so I can keep your head on straight. Sending you buckets of love.